All right, so you think you're starting a podcast. Cool. I want you to start well, and I'll bet you're worried about technology right now. I bet you're worried about your location right now. We have some conversation on some other videos that you can go look at that, but I want you to start even before then and make sure you've aligned yourself with the right intentions. Okay, so what that means is if you're doing a business-to-business podcast, if you're doing something that is supposed to bring in new work to your business, you need to check two things. I'm sure you've heard of an ICP, Ideal Customer Profile, or maybe a customer avatar. And I'll bet your sales and business development people, you may be one of them, know that pretty intimately. Figure out who your ideal customer profile is from a listener standpoint. Do an exercise around that today. Figure out who your ideal listener is, and then tell yourself the truth. They're not going to listen, not for a while at least. One, you probably haven't released anything, but two, it takes a while to build an audience. Now, I want you to build a different ideal customer profile or customer avatar of your ideal guest, because I think you need to have guests on your show. And the reason why I think that is your immediate opportunity to get a real human who is really engaging with you is in the guest seat. And they're going to come because they're interested in you. They're interested in being seen online. That's the promise of the exchange, right? Because you're going to release the conversation publicly online. And so you're giving them a gift of some kind of online awareness, but then you're able to build rapport with them. And so you need to make sure it's the right person. Now, simple descriptions are ideal referral partner, ideal vendor partner, a high tier customer of yours, or maybe an industry leader in your industry who can show their thought leadership and allow you to display some of your thought leadership so you can be seen in your industry as a thought leader with that person. All four of those are highly valuable and highly viable, but I will say that the number one thing that you need to think about is what your guest ICP is, which, by the way, I'll pause for a moment. If you're in my age bracket, I'm about 45. ICP also means insane clown posse, and it's a terribly distracting term. But ICP in marketing is the ideal customer profile. So we'll focus, shall we? And with that ICP, you need to pick those people in relation to your eventual audience. Your eventual ICP, your audience, you can craft questions and conversation to benefit those people and keep it in check. Make sure that ICP audience also has value for your guest, because that is why they're coming on the show. I've even had conversations with some creators encouraging them to create a podcast where they're the host and the guest is coming on to talk about things for an ICP that actually doesn't matter for the host, because they're actually giving the seat of honor at such a high level that the show is really to build their guests and be given the credit of helping build those guests. And that's a complicated play, but it's a real conversation that you need to have with yourself before you start filming, before you start inviting people. Make sure you build some form of a business plan around having those right elements in place. And you may also want to write a further business plan and check to make sure that you're putting things on YouTube with the right, content, the right keywords, the right tagging, the right things that you want to be seen for. Talk to your web guy and find out what he's using for SEO for your business, and think about how those keywords interact with the ideal people that you're having on your show so that you can get all of these things to fire on good cylinders together. Don't start filming a show without having the right intel, because it's very possible you'll stop that show way before it hits a top 1% show. I've shared this on other videos, but most podcasts stop before episode 8. Only the top 1% of podcasts make it to episode 50. And out of the 5 million plus podcasts that exist out there, less than 2.5 million are even active today. There's a lot of dropouts in podcasting, and the reason why is people haven't gotten their ducks in a row and been organized and been polished and efficient on their way in and efficient through the process. Get ahead of that, and that's where you're going to find the success. Now, I'm Josh Pice. I am the executive producer, hippie capitalist, and chief attention getter here at C47 Digital Studios. If you want to have a conversation about this, or you just need to hire us so that we can be your guide, we can be your efficiency, we can think into all of these ideas with you, it's exactly what we do. Go on our website right now and fill out the form, or you can just call us. We'll have a conversation around all of the dreams and ideas you have for your business. We'll set a plan and we'll make it actionable today. I'll talk to you soon.